Quilty is brought to you by Baby Lock Sewing and Long Arm Machines. Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Aurifil. Aurifil Italian thread, perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Fairfield. Together, we can make beautiful things. Free Spirit. A new generation of creative and playful fabrics perfect for fashions, home decor, quilting, crafting, and more. Hovels Sewing. Cut it close with Hovels. Moda. Make something quilty with Moda fabrics. Thermoweb. Manufacturer of heat and bond adhesives and new luxe interfacings, proudly made in the USA. Hello, I'm Mary Fons. You are watching Quilty, and I'm joined today by Judy Tucker. Judy, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
We did a little bias binding show not too long ago. That was fun. And now we're on This Is My Quilt episode together because you have a very cool quilt.
Thank you.
I want to know about this quilt, and I also want to encourage anybody out there to make this quilt because this is a very simple block, a simple unit of patchwork that we talk about, on Quilty. Simple patchwork can make beautiful quilts that look quite intricate. Judy, you made this quilt at a retreat.
I did.
Tell me about when that was and where it was.
In 2004, I was at a retreat in Indiana. And I wanted to pick a design that was fairly simple, and like you said, the one block, so that I could sit with the women and talk and enjoy the retreat. And I was having so much fun sewing. I just kept going and going, and then when I went to go put the blocks together, I had to resize them all 300 and plus of them.
Ooh. Now, you by the block, you mean these little units, right?
Correct.
These little, okay, yes.
Just each little unit,
We had to resize them all. So you mean they were too big or they were funky?
They were a little askew.
They were a little askew.
But I was having fun.
See, and that's what a retreat is really all about. The serious quilters who want to get things done. There are retreats for those quilters too, but for the most part, we go to chat.
It works.
Yeah, it works. So tell me about the fabrics that you picked.
I chose the fabrics because I'm a big fan of Nancy Halverson.
Yes.
And it was her line, and I had the whole fat quarter bundle, and I think there's like 32 different fabrics in it.
Cool.
So I just grabbed that and went, and that's what I chose for this one.
And the color palette here, is this something that matches your home decor? Is this something that just kind of speaks to you? Because you're wearing very bright colors, but this is a very pastel quilt.
Yes, it just spoke to me. And as time goes on in quilting too, your color changes a little bit.
Oh, tell me about that. So yeah, that's interesting. No one's ever said that before.
I used to be more pastel and subtle, and now I am very bright. If you see my quilts, and changes with the mood, season, I think.
I have seen that because I've seen some of your work, and you're part of the Chicago Modern Quilt Guild.
Correct.
And there's some pretty vibrant color in that guild.
Yes, and now I'm very bold in color.
Cool. I like it. A renaissance or a change in...
Just a shift.
Yes, it's a shift.
I think as we grow as quilters, things change.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah. I'm making a quilt right now that's different from any quilt I've ever made. I mean, I'm like doing in a totally different direction. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to this guy. So this was quilted by a long armer, correct?
Correct.
And before you started long arming?
Yes, long before.
Okay, so tell me about the choices made here.
Well, I went to the long armor, and she drew on a chalkboard of what I wanted, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. So she did it, and I left it with her.
Yeah.
And before dropping it off, I really despised the quilt, having to resize all them blocks.
This is a good story.
So I thought, well, when I pick this up, I'm giving this away. I'm tired of looking at it. I can't stand it anymore. But when I did pick it up, I actually cried.
Oh.
And the quilter was like, oh, you don't like it? I'm like, I love it.
I love it.
I love it. I couldn't believe it was my quilt.
Oh.
So
you're almost tearing up a little bit
right
now.
Oh, we are attached.
It does it. It does. Yes,
it's a keeper.
Yes.
It's my keeper.
Yeah.
So thank goodness I didn't tell my friend because she would have been really disappointed, and our friendship probably would have broke up after that.
Because it's a beautiful quilt, and if you would have promised it to her and then take it back, that's not so good.
Wouldn't have worked.
That's funny. So we have a picture of you and Nancy Halverson together because you met Nancy.
In 2009, she was at a quilt shop, and they did a luncheon, and I had to go. I had to meet her.
Of course.
So I went, and I took my quilt, and she asked me for it. She loved it, and of course I didn't give it to her either.
No.
But I did have a block, a couple segments left, and she did sign it for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right there. It's so funny that she wanted it too, and you're like, No.
Well, sorry. I really like you and your line of fabric, but I love my quilt.
But I love my quilt even more.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
glad.
really like that.
I'm glad you said no to Nancy. Nancy's lovely. I think
Yes,
she's
yes.
wonderful, but I'm glad you kept your quilt too. Yeah, you know, sometimes we make these things and they become a part of us. These
They
quilts.
do. I think it's the journey. The journey that you went through, hating it, loving it, and saying, okay, this one's mine.
Absolutely. You said it may have had a name at one point. If you think of it, you let us know.
I sure will.
At this point,
I'll have
it's
to look that up.
Yeah, look it up. It's just kind of part of. It's so close to you. It's like maybe it should just be your name. It should just be Judy Tucker.
Mine. Maybe it should be
mine.
mine.
That's what it should be. Oh, we should totally name it mine.
Mine.
That's hilarious. Judy, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
These quilt stories they're the best, and quilters always have a good story behind every quilt. So we will see you next time on Quilty. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, please let us know because we feature quilters around town. And Judy, thanks for coming by.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
Quilty is brought to you by Baby Lock Sewing and Long Arm Machines. Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Aurifil Italian thread, perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Fairfield, together we can make beautiful things. Free Spirit, a new generation of creative and playful fabrics perfect for fashions, home decor, quilting, crafting, and more. Hovels Sewing, cut it close with Hovels. Moda, make something quilty with Moda fabrics. Thermoweb, manufacturer of heat and bond adhesives and new luxe interfacings, proudly made in the USA.